My name is Rich Wiltshire. I'm a 5Rhythms teacher from Brixton, London, England, and I've been dancing since 2005. Since 2009, I've had a serious chronic illness, and I was very lucky that my illness manifested when I'd already been dancing for 4.5 years, and that gave me a great foundation with something to work with, particularly the tiredness, the lethargy, and the pain that I was dealing with at the time. And I was lucky. I was lucky that I had a space in which I could move with that pain and with that heaviness and with that confusion and with that not knowing. 5Rhythms gave me a chance to express all the feelings that were coming up. And it also gave me a chance for my body to transform the pain and transform the illness. And the 5Rhythms really helped keep me going and stop my body from closing down. I think without, I couldn't go to the gym. Wouldn't have worked for me. Other physical exercise wouldn't have worked for me because I started in a place of pain and lethargy and from hardly standing. And the beauty of the practice was that I could really be with that and build up slowly and wait for the wave to pick me up and take me, and then my body would respond to that and would come awake. And I'd start in a place of really closed down. My cells would be closed, my body would be closed. I'd be crunched up inside, and slowly the wave would help me unwind and open up, and into a state of well-being and healing. And it was thanks to the 5Rhythms that really I've been able to live as vibrant life as I have done these last few years. And and it's not been easy. It's not been easy as well, and there's been a lot of struggle. And getting out of bed to come to a class each week, it's not always the easiest thing, and I've had to really fight to do my practice. And that's been a journey in itself. Sometimes our spiritual journey, sometimes about our practice, is that you have to really fight to get it, and that fight might take different forms. And my fight was to get out the front door and come to a class, or make that choice to come to a workshop to book a workshop when I've been in bed all week and not been able to look after myself or cook for myself, but take that decision to travel abroad somewhere. 5Rhythms has given me opportunity to find that fight in myself for my practice, and so it was, once I became a teacher, offering a space for other people in similar circumstances is something that I wanted to do. And so the work, a deeper acceptance, moving with chronic illness, was born. The vision for the workshop is to create a space where all parts of a person's illness, particularly with chronic illness, is welcome. And when you have chronic illness or chronic pain, you're dealing with a lot of stuff and a lot of shadow. And I wanted to create a space where that was all that was welcome. And in a weekly class, particularly a busy weekly class, it's not always possible to go into that heaviness, that pain in a packed space, particularly on a 2-hour class rhythm. So I really wanted to give space where people could take as much time as they wanted to be able to really slow down and connect with those parts of us that we find really challenging to connect with. For me, like, pain pushes me out of my body. I push out of my body very quickly, and it's very hard to slow down and be with that. So I wanted to create a space where you could connect with that. You could connect with that pain, that lethargy. I just wanted to create a space where we could express the frustrations of living with a chronic illness. Chronic illness is a place where your expectations are confounded each day. You want to do something, you've made arrangements and you can't do it. Your life is turned upside down. So there's a lot that comes up that we don't get a chance to express, or not given the permission to express. And so I wanted to create a space where we can go into the shadow of flowing, we can go into the shadow of staccato, and particularly in this context, and allow people to dance through that and move through that with support and permission. And my hope for the future is that I can create a space where we go through all the shadows. So with chaos, that sense of overwhelm and confusion, which people with chronic illness experience on a daily basis. The shadow of lyrical, where that falseness of how we present ourselves to people is saying we're fine all the time, or actually we're not fine. But kind of modern society, we don't get a chance to actually, if people ask us how we are, it's like a 3-hour conversation we could give, so we choose not to. We create that false impression of ourselves. And that numbness in stillness, where we numb off because it's just too hard to feel what we're feeling. Yeah, so my vision really, it's a deeper acceptance, because without accepting all those parts of us, we live lives we're disconnected from ourselves, and there's no chance of, we can't heal ourselves if we're disconnected from ourselves. So really it's an opportunity. My vision is to create a space where we can connect with ourselves, those different parts of us, and we can take that through the wave. And by taking it through the wave, we can create a chance of transformation and alchemy. That's my hope, to bring a little bit of healing to participants that come to the workshop. So I really felt the need to create a space specific for people with chronic illness, dancers with chronic illness and or chronic pain, because in a weekly class, it can be quite busy. There's not often an opportunity to slow down enough for those with chronic illness to actually feel the different parts of themselves, to give a chance to connect with those parts of their body that are in pain or are challenged by. So it was great that the Rhythm Village Festival gave us a space dedicated to those dancers with chronic illness and chronic pain. So we had a space where we could start on chairs, where we could take time to slow down, and we could give permission for people to connect with those parts of themselves that they were finding difficult to connect with, such as those parts of us that were in pain, or the parts of our body that were feeling lethargic or heavy. So it was about the Rhythm Village Festival created a container, a safe container and a space where people could really be with how they're feeling, without feeling of expectation of moving with regular dancers or healthy people. And they had knowing that they were with others of like-minded bodies, there was no need to explain themselves. And they had total freedom, permission to be how they were. And it was really interesting watching people, what they did with that permission, and how they moved with their chairs, and how they moved differently to how they would move in a regular space. As someone with chronic illness, the Rhythm Village Festival was great because it was offering a place for those on the margins to be included in the centre. And it was really powerful for me personally, because I'd not disclosed to many people about my chronic illness, and in fact only a few people knew about it, but it was the time I felt safe to come out of my vulnerability and share that with everyone. And it was a vulnerable thing to do, but it was a very powerful experience to own where I am. Yeah.